Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Nasa with Expansive Taste, and I've got this, this topic that I like to speak about that's been really relevant to me, and I'm sure to lots of other people. And, as said in the title, or as stated in the title, it is about having a lifestyle or experiencing lifestyle choice fatigue. I don't have clear talking points about this, but I'm just hoping I can really just share my thoughts with you in a way that is just, cohesive and valuable. So, what I mean when I say lifestyle choice fatigue, I just mean that, especially nowadays, you are able to see, through social media and just the internet in general, you are you are given the wonderful opportunity to see the many, many different types of ways you can live, and how it's done. And everybody is able to share with each other the way in which they achieve these things, which is very valuable and cool. And I love that, we have so much information, and we don't have to be closed minded in the way that we only think there are a certain amount of things that we can do in our lives and a certain amount of ways we can live. And yeah, so I'm glad that we have those options, or at least we are able to see that there are so many different options out there for us. But it's gotten to the point where you see all these different things and you don't know exactly which one to make happen for yourself, or which guideline to pretty much follow. And if you are able to, receive all this information out there and be able to just like see that one thing, that one general way of living and career, and lifestyle that suits you and that you want to pursue, that's great that you have a more organized way of looking into things, and planning for the future. But for me, and I'm sure many others, I am in a spot where it's like, well, I've been in this spot for a while, it's not recent. I've just been in this spot where I'm thinking about many different things I want to achieve, and I feel like I need to and I want to so bad. And like, I don't know if my life will be complete if I don't get to experience these things. Um but there's also the, because I know because I have to be realistic in order to really imagine these things happening, even though it's not realistic at all. It's just my way of seeing it as realistic, and trying to make sense of it. Um the math, I suppose. I was rambling, but pretty much it's not really looking good. Okay, it's looking very, very hard, and I can't find a good, like, the perfect model. I feel like I need to see that perfect model in order to figure out how to do it for myself. Although I know if it's not out there, you just have to do it yourself. And then you could be that model. But pretty much what I see for myself is, I suppose there are models, but just like in, the back, the good old days, the not the good old days, but the past. Okay, technically people have done many different things in their lives in the past, but it just doesn't look the same because they don't have like internet. But pretty much you saw it in the thumbnail, right? Okay, so me, I want to be a Grammy award winning musician, songwriter. Really, I want to be a wonderful, well-known songwriter and writer, like novelist. That's another thing. Hey, and then I also want to experience, the black girl luxury, that kind of lifestyle. I feel like I'm Cardi, kind of already in that right now. And then I also really am into the, what's it called? I'm into the minimalist, homesteading farm lifestyle. Um yeah, it just all appeals to me, and I know I also want to be a stay-at-home mom. And so, yeah, that's really where the confusion comes in. And so I came with a formula in order to make these things happen. Also, by the way, I want to be a bikini competitor only once. I'm only going to do it once, and then like once I do the competition, I'm fine. I got it off my bucket list. I can gain the 20 pounds back, whatever. Anyways, but first I have to lose the 60 pounds, but yeah, so the formula right now is in the next 5 years, I'm going to do everything I can in order to become that famous singer songwriter. I can't really do that now, which is annoying because what's it called? I went back to school. I decided to finish my bachelor's just so I can make some people happy and so I could also have that kind of safety net just in case none of that actual music stuff happens, which like sucks because I don't want a safety net. I just want to believe it's gonna happen, it will. But I do need another option, you know, in order to make money in a way that makes sense. Which, anyways, yes. So become a famous songwriter in the next 5 years. Pretty much make enough so that I can rack up and save a couple $1,000,000. All I need to do is make a couple $1,000,000. That's it. I know I know that sounds what's it called? I know it sounds like wishful thinking or whatever, or that it sounds like a little out of the ordinary, of course. But like, I feel like when you become a successful artist, it shouldn't, especially, I mean, as long as like you're independent or whatever, it shouldn't be that hard to just save a couple $1,000,000. I'm not trying to do this in the long run. I don't need $1,000,000 house. I just want a farm. Anyways, that's the next step. After I save up my couple $1,000,000, I get to buy my farm, um, build my, okay, I don't need to be in a tiny house, but like, I guess that's something like a tiny house would work, like a what's it called? The two container homes. I forgot what they're called, but that's the more of the model of the tiny home I would do. Not no, pretty much, it needs to be at least 400 square feet. I think 400 square feet is fair for a small, humble family in a farm. Yeah, and while I am there, I'm pretty much just like retiring, momentarily, of course. Momentarily being a stay at home mom, with my millions saved up to support the lifestyle. Of course, I'll have a husband, but I want to make sure I can do this kind of on my own too. Um, yeah, what's the next step? Yeah, I homeschool the kids for a little bit until they're like all 8 years old or something, and then I'll send them to some kind of school. I doubt I'm gonna homeschool them until high school because that's just like, honestly, I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. Because I know myself, and I know once we get into like that middle school curriculum and high school stuff, I'm just not gonna take it as seriously, even if the curriculum is like right there, and they're even like doing the virtual schooling. um I'm just not gonna be able to help them, not to the fullest degree. So I might as well just like send them to, what's it called, send them to a actual school. But that's beside the point. And then, for whatever reason, I imagine myself after they're, in school or whatever, I go back to work, and then I just, I don't know, I start working and making money again. But the problem with that is that if I'm living on a farm, it's gonna be hard for me to find a job that's like not 2 hours away, for me to actually be making enough money and whatnot. So that's a problem. Unless like my job is like farm work related, which that's not which, a lot of things can change, but I just don't see myself doing that. I imagine myself reverting, like once I'm 40, I'm reverting back to this. I'm wearing these kind of dresses. I'm gluing jewels and glitter on my face again. I'm buying $200 bags. Not that I do that now, but I just mean like that's what I imagine for myself, you know, as an older woman. Like I'm gonna be buying perfumes. I'm gonna be living that black girl luxury lifestyle. I'm gonna have something designer, something. Pretty much what I'm saying is that this kind of like scenario or situation that I have to force myself into trying to make work is kind of it's very tough. I'm not sure how, like, I say I can become a celebrity in 5 years, save up $1 million, become a stay-at-home mom for like the next 10 years, and then go back to work and do this and that and be the activist that I always dreamed of being the novelist, being the bikini competitor throughout, I don't know, at some point, and then just also getting to travel and whatnot. I'm not sure how I can make all that happen. And it really bothers me that I have all these kind of ideas, because I know the more I try to incorporate, or the more I see things, the more I kind of want to just like incorporate that into my lifestyle. And I'm just at a point where it's like I feel like I'm going to have to just completely cut myself off of social media and not even like watch some Netflix series, because they all live different lifestyles and whatnot, and it's like it all kind of appeals to me. Um and at, to some degree it is satisfying to live, I guess, live vicariously through other people, you know, because I know there are some things that I'm just not going to do, but it is interesting to look at. But there are plenty of things that I know that I want to do. And to go back on how I was saying that there's not really anyone that can model what this looks like, what I mean is that I do not know of a single person who uh followed through with a music career and actually became successful, and then retired like in their 30s, and then bought a farm to just like live this very minimalist lifestyle, um and then, you know, pop back up again. I'm sure it happens, but I don't see it, and that's the problem, because I just want the blueprint. um and I really should not be thinking so far ahead and just taking it one step at a time. But it's hard to do that because I am a planner. I love to plan. I plan everything, which is why I went in that little rant where like I pretty much already figured out how I'm gonna homeschool my kids. So uh that's a problem for for other people in my life when I decide to plan my whole life. But what else was I saying? Oh yeah. So something I've been doing is I've been trying to find people who incorporate these little bits of themselves into just one little like video, pretty much. Like I want to see someone who has an extensive perfume collection in their tiny home. I want to see someone who actually likes fashion. Like I know, you know, some people like fashion, but I mean like they gotta like fashion. Like they're buying go-go boots. They're buying hot pink corsets like I just did last month. You know, I want to see that in like the tour of a farmhouse, okay? Like I or just somebody who is pretty much living a bit remotely, and they just like these things that I like, or they make music, but I don't see that. I don't see any people who are working songwriters who are living in these farms, or at least they're just not showing their lives to me. And I just want to see it so I can know that it's real, so that I know it's possible and anything's possible. And I shouldn't be so hungry for this type of content that isn't really necessary. I could just make this content, right? That's what I want to do, okay? I want to make that type of content. I want to be living this kind of simple lifestyle, but glamorously, okay? And that's another thing I've been trying to find. I've been trying to find simple, glamorous lifestyles. And like I see people with their, what's it called, their luxury minimalism, and honestly that's not for me. That's not the same thing. Luxury minimalism is a bit too high on the spending scale for me to be comfortable, even if I had that type of money. um but it's also just not, it's not hippie enough for me. I am a hippie at heart. I am a free spirit. And even though I like these expensive nice things, not expensive. I just like nice things, okay? When I say I'm living that black girl luxury lifestyle, I mean I just happen to look good, but this is my, I'm still gonna be buying my dresses from Ross. I'm still gonna be wearing Walmart earrings. Um, I'm still gonna be shopping at Goodwill. It's just I'm gonna be finding nice things at Goodwill like I always have throughout my whole life. Um, as I was saying, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I completely forgot where I was going with this, and I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I'm a hippie. Pretty much at some point in my life, mostly high school, I was that person who put lemons under her armpits for deodorant, okay? I once did the whole minimalist thing and I had only 10 items hanging, not 10, like 14. 14 items hanging in my closet in my college days. I once was that person who, let me show you real quick. This is a bottle of Palmer's lotion, but guess what? I peeled the label off of this. Why? Because I was that minimalist who couldn't stand any type of visual clutter, and I peeled labels off of things in order to get a plain white container of lotion. And obviously I'm still doing this, but that was me, okay? I know that doesn't really make me a hippie. That just means that's just minimalist side. But yeah, I tried to do the barefoot thing. I would, after walking or after going to school, I'd walk home barefoot on the hot Florida sidewalk. Why? Because it was like the thing to do, You're a vegetarian or whatever. I did try raw till 4. I did try veganism. Anyways, yeah, you're just that person who was all like, shoes are ruining the evolutionary development of our feet. We have so many muscles in our feet that we aren't using because shoes have pacified us, okay? I should have freaking what is it called? The I should have hard feet. I can't think of the word. Um because that's how humans were meant to be, okay? Um Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not there anymore. I'm much more like normal now. Um but I had my moments, and like no matter what, I will always be a little bit of a hippie at heart. Also, not too long ago, like there was like a hurricane in this area, and like the whole city was like kind of like turned upside down. It was tore up. Anyways, it was a weird time. But I legit, like, okay, we didn't have like running water and electricity for like a week. Um and not gonna lie, I kind of had some fun. I was like over here having so much fun hand washing my clothes, drying it on a rack, and like melting candles on a grill. And although, like, yeah, I actually, anyways, I made some candles out of the old wax and melted it on top of a grill because there was no electric stove, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was a chill time, and I know the only reason why I was able to be so chill is because I knew it was temporary. Um, but that just goes to show that I am really just fine living a simple life as long as I don't have to like work too hard in order to maintain it. That's really that's really my only goal. In fact, even being a musician isn't really about being like famous or whatever. It's more so about, having moments where like I just share a message and then receiving independence because of it. like not in the like independence in the way where I make enough money to just chill out for the rest of my life. Um and that's really all I've been chasing. Just I just want to chill out. That's it. Knowing that I really just want to chill out, it really shouldn't be that hard for me to just like find the path of least resistance and just do what I need to do to just live my life forever on a farm. And I know that's possible, but right now it's just it doesn't seem fun enough. And yeah, it doesn't seem fun enough. And I know that I want to be continuously making money, and being able to experience things throughout my life and being able to give my children certain experiences throughout their lives. Like, I don't want to just like not let them see or lick or touch a city. That's not fun. They gotta experience some things, you know? So, you guys, that pretty much concludes the whole video. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I know sometimes I can be a lot, but hey, I hope maybe through watching this, you know that you're not alone, and maybe you're also aspiring for so much because you've been exposed to so much, which is, you know, a cool thing, but also kind of like a burden. You know, you kind of want to be in that. Sometimes it makes you want to be in that whole ignorance is bliss kind of state. And ignorance was once bliss, but it's also a prison. Um, so let's make all our dreams happen. Let's try at least, but still kind of take it one step at a time and not stress ourselves out about the what ifs and hows. Um, although it is best to do so because the finances, they really gotta be good in order to make these things happen. Um, yeah, so that is all, beautiful people. Thank you so much for watching. I send you my love. Mwah.